bacari. Jaga-jaga enggo, polo rapat enggo, jaga jangan sampai beta enggo. Awas kalau enggo beta dapat, beta polo rapat. Jaga-jaga enggo, polo rapat enggo, jaga jangan sampai beta enggo. Awas kalau enggo beta dapat, beta polo rapat. Nyong jang balari, mari rapat-rapat kamari. Abah kumpul rame-rame, ketong bermain enggo lari. 1, 2, 3 jaga, enggo beta lari basambunyi. Sambunyi balari kesana kemari, nanti kong ale bacari. Jaga-jaga enggo, polo rapat enggo, jaga jangan sampai beta enggo. Awas kalau enggo beta dapat, beta polo rapat. Jaga-jaga enggo, polo rapat enggo, jaga jangan sampai beta enggo. Awas kalau enggo beta dapat, beta polo rapat. Baku cari sampai dapat enggo. Enggo lari baku cari sampai dapat enggo. Jaga-jaga enggo, polo rapat enggo, jaga jangan sampai beta enggo. Awas kalau enggo beta dapat, beta polo rapat. Jaga-jaga enggo, polo rapat enggo, jaga jangan sampai beta enggo. Awas kalau enggo beta dapat, beta polo rapat. Enggo lari baku cari sampai dapat enggo. Jaga-jaga enggo, polo rapat enggo, jaga jangan sampai beta enggo. Enggo lari baku cari sampai dapat enggo. Enggo lari baku cari sampai dapat enggo. Lari baku cari sampai dapat enggo. Enggo lari baku cari sampai dapat enggo. bacari. Jaga-jaga enggo, polo rapat enggo, jaga jangan sampai beta enggo. Awas kalau enggo beta dapat, beta polo rapat-rapat. Jaga-jaga enggo, polo rapat enggo, jaga jangan sampai beta beta lari bersembunyi, sembunyi balari kesana kemari, nanti kau ngale bacari. Jaga-jaga enggo, polo rapat enggo, jaga jangan sampai beta enggo. Awas kalau enggo beta dapat, beta polo rapat-rapat. Jaga-jaga enggo, polo rapat enggo, jaga jangan sampai beta enggo. Awas kalau enggo beta dapat, beta polo rapat-rapat. Cari sampai dapat enggo. Enggo lari, lari baku cari, cari sampai dapat enggo. Jaga-jaga enggo, polo rapat enggo, jaga jangan sampai beta enggo. Awas kalau enggo beta dapat, beta polo rapat-rapat. Jaga-jaga enggo, polo rapat enggo, jaga jangan sampai beta enggo. Awas kalau enggo beta dapat, beta polo rapat-rapat. Enggo lari, lari baku cari, cari sampai dapat enggo. Jaga-jaga, enggo polo rapat enggo, jaga jangan sampai beta enggo. Enggo lari, lari baku cari, cari sampai dapat enggo. Enggo lari, lari baku cari, cari sampai dapat enggo. Cari sampai dapat enggo. Enggo lari, lari baku cari, cari sampai dapat enggo. Sembunyi berlari kesana kemari, nanti kau ngale bacari. Jaga-jaga enggo, polo rapat enggo, jaga jangan sampai beta enggo. Awas kalau enggo beta dapat, beta polo rapat-rapat. Jaga-jaga enggo, polo rapat enggo, jaga jangan sampai beta enggo. Awas kalau enggo beta dapat, beta polo rapat-rapat. Sembunyi berlari kesana kemari, nanti kau ngale bacari. Jaga-jaga enggo, polo rapat enggo, jaga jangan sampai beta enggo. Awas kalau enggo beta dapat, beta polo beta polo rapat-rapat. Nyong jang balari, mari rapat-rapat kamari. Berkumpul rame-rame, ketong bermain enggo lari. 1, 2, 3 jaga enggo beta lari.
Still yet to be explored. It can also offer good birding, good trekking in the jungle, and of course culture and village life. Traditions, adat, are really, really strong in Tayando and very interesting to discover. And it's still a place off the beaten tracks, quite unknown. So I think it's really a very good destination. I would be very glad to bring you there if you are interested. Let's move on to discover the next destination. The next place I want you to discover is the small island of Onin. Next slide, please. About 90 kilometers off Tual. It's a pure gem, oval-shaped paradise of 30 hectares, uninhabited. The small hut you can see on the bottom right picture is built by local people who go there to tend the garden, and it's the place where you would stay if you come with us on this island. Next slide. It's a long beach, white sand, pristine water, splendid sunset. But if you go to Onin, also called Wonin, next slide, is really to enjoy seeing green turtles, Chelonia midas, coming by night to lay their eggs on the beach. And sometimes latecomers are still up on the beach in the morning, and you can see them with the daylight and see them going back to the sea. They come throughout the year to lay eggs. So if you are lucky, you can see baby turtles hatching, next slide, and finding their way to the sea, which is quite a challenging path to reach the sea. And it's just the beginning of the challenging life. Next slide, please. As you can see, quite a challenge just to enter the sea. Next slide. In a nutshell, Onin, it's really offers an exceptional beach, very good snorkeling in front of the beach. It's the paradise to observe turtles coming, laying eggs, and it's also a paradise to experience a kind of Robinson Crusoe life. You will feel alone on Earth if you go to Onin, and we will be very, very happy to bring you there, an island that is still unknown and unnoticed on the maps. Let's move on to the next destination, which is Aru Island. Aru is on the same continental shelf than Papua and Australia, so it shares with them the nature, with marsupials and birds of paradise, to name a few. Aru was also connected with Papua during Ice Age, and rivers from Papua shaped the archipelago. You don't really see on the map that is on the screen the channel, the Manumbai channel, but there are a lot of channels cutting the archipelago, and it's a very unique sceneries to see, to navigate on it. Next slide, please. Along these channels, you can find some villages, and Wakua is one of them. I started to travel to Aru and to Wakua 20 years ago. And next slide, please. 8 years ago, with people from the village of Wakua, we built a resort in the jungle to bring guests there. But before talking about the resort, let's have a look to what is Aru. Next slide. So it's really an archipelago between land and forest, land and sea and forest, sea and land, very diverse sceneries. It looks like a very flat archipelago, but it's definitely not. It's very hilly. with some cliffs on the channels and some kind of canyons. It's really shaped by rivers and channels, and it's quite amazing sceneries to discover with a lot of different forest type, for example. Next slide. You have, so there is a kind of dichotomy of life in Aru. You have the villages that are on the coasts, so coastal villages where people rely mostly on the sea to survive. And then you have what I call the inland villages, mostly along the channels, where people are more relying on forest and are hunting. Next slide. There are two main emblems of Aru, the pearls and the birds of paradise, the greater bird of paradise. Back, please. Yeah, thanks. With Miguel, we made a movie about the bird of paradise. We made a movie about the pearls. They are really the two icons of Aru. Aru was the first place in Indonesia where pearl farming started, and it's still on. And still producing the most beautiful South Sea pearls. And the greater bird of paradise is extremely important in the culture and traditions that of the people. Next slide. Very close, like 15 minutes from the resort that we built and that I will shortly introduce, we have some hides to see the greater bird of paradise dancing. We make people climb up to 20-25 meters in the canopy to enjoy these extremely beautiful dances. Next, other birds are also can be seen, other birds of paradise. This is the 3 other species of birds of paradise. Next. And then you have parrots, incredible pigeons, drongos. Next. So it's extremely rich, and all the picture, next slide, please. All the picture that you see here, you could take it yourself from the hides that we built. Yeah, some other birds. And then, okay, and other very nice for image forests, very colorful flowers and jumping spiders. Next one, a bit less sexy of a picture, but these are leaf and stick insects, also called phasmids. Guess how many new species are on this picture? Well, all of them are unknown to science. All of them are yet to be described. And this is also why it's so important to protect Aru nature and to study this nature, because there is still a lot to discover. It's a kind of open lab. And that's also why we build a resort there. Next slide, please. And we build it with villagers of Wakua. You can see here the restaurants. Next. And then you can see also the bungalows. We have 5 bungalows there with river view, all very separated from each other. And we only used materials from the forest to build them. Next slide, please. This is, no, up. Yeah. This is an aerial view of the resort, and you can see how well integrated it is in the jungle. It was what we did. We really wanted to have the least impact possible to the primary forest, so that's why we developed it. We designed it with the people of Wakua like that, and it's so well integrated that sometimes you even have birds of paradise coming to feed on the trees above the bungalows. Next slide. So the result wouldn't exist without the staff. So we have the owners of the land, part of our staff, and the rest are from the villages, from Wakua, from other families of Wakua. Next slide. And for them, it's a very important alternative income resource. It's not the main one, definitely not, but it's important for them when we bring guests that they can have a plus to live. And it's also a way to share their knowledge about their forest and to show the beauty of the forest. But the most important part is the family that owns the land decided to protect the birds back in 2007, before we went with Miguel to shoot our movie about the greater bird of paradise, the fanon. And since then, now they extended the protection to all birds, cockatoos, parrots, and all special birds there. And it's quite a unique project. I mean, it's to my knowledge, it's the first locally induced conservation program in the region, and it's really, we really have to support that. It really shows that when people realize how rich they are from the nature and from the land they own or the sea they own, they can realize that it's worth to be protected. So it's a real lifetime experience to visit this resort, and we strongly encourage you to try the adventure. To conclude, next slide. What needs to be done to improve tourism in this very remote area? Well, access and infrastructure are really lacking in both Tayando, Onin, and to some extent in Dobo. And there are some threats also with pollution and logging threats to nature. So conservation has to be enhanced, and promotion. These are really the main points that local and I mean even central administration authorities should tackle. It's really in their hands, and it's really up to the goodwill to develop tourism there, ecotourism, slow tourism, and also to help their communities to have alternative resource income possibilities. Next, so this is it from me. Thanks for your attention. And if one day you go to Southeast Maluku, I already wish you a bon voyage.
Thank you, Loïc, for your beautiful presentation.
Pilih lautan biru, Wow, beautiful music and a beautiful video and beautiful presentations. I would like to remind you, if you have questions, please put your questions on the chat room. And also, if you'd like to have the video, please kindly give your email so our organizer can send you the videos of the presentations. Now we are going to go to the next presentations. Is like a short video from Indonesian travel addict and journalist, Madam Dian Fatma. Dian Fatwa. Donc, we will show you this short video presentation. Unfortunately, she's now outside of in the islands. Is in Indonesia, so there's a bit problem with the internet connections. But anyway, we are going to show you the video of Dian Fatwa, the travel addict and the journalist.
Worth it to come here. Obviously, it's worth it. You could see the white sand behind me, so white and so pristine. let alone the food. The food is so fresh. The fish, oh my God, it's so fresh and so yummy when you just get the fish just directly from the ocean.
You can always face the long embrace of the setting sun. Taste its warmth on your skin. One last exhale of a big ordeal when the day is nearly done. And the night sinking in makes you feel so lucky, makes you feel so lucky when beauty puts you in a spell, and you can really take it in. What it means to be alive and well, to be lucky just to live. Some days have their way of going down like a fall to the floor. Some folks know that they are the lucky ones. How can you be sure when you catch the light at its most divine? You know that you belong, and the time of day, that golden haze when you blink and then it's gone. Don't you know you're lucky? Don't you know you're lucky as you watch the day become the night?
Wow, beautiful video. Thank you very much for the beautiful video and the beautiful image from Mbak Dian Fatwa that has make us traveling to islands, the magnific islands in Maluku. Now we are going to the next presentations, and this is a very interesting one because we are going to bring you to Tanimbar Islands. We will invite Noah Vanoembi, the tourism marketing promotion of Tanimbar Islands, who will present us what is Tanimbar Islands. And then after that, we are going to listen to the song by our diaspora, five diaspora artists. Thank you very much. Noah, floor is yours.
Yes, thank you for introducing me. Okay, let's start. So this is my presentation about the Tanimbar Islands. Thank you. Index, first I would like to tell you something about Tanimbar, then the culture, typical objects from Tanimbar, nice places to visit, some facilities, and after that I would like to show you some pictures. Okay, Tanimbar. The word Tanimbar comes from the word Tebar, which means the sinking of land. So the word Tanimbar or Tanempar means the sunken land. The Tanimbar archipelago itself counts over 206 islands, but only 22 of them are occupied. According to counting from 2017, there are living over 100,000 people in the Tanimbar archipelago. These people usually use local languages instead of standard Indonesian. And on the Tanimbar archipelago, there are 5 of these local languages. Okay, next. Traditional clothing. So nowadays, clothing that was used in the past as daily clothing is still used in ceremonies or other ceremonies. You can see on the picture a woman who is wearing traditional clothing. They use some accessories on the head, on the forehead. It is called indardedi. And she also used the bird of paradise that is called somalai. Women often use a sarong in combination with a kabaya. And men, when performing traditional dances, often use a short pants in combination with a white t-shirt and a selendang, so-called. And when getting married or speaking in public, men often use a woven jacket from kain tenun, as I am also wearing today. So all accessories that are used in ceremonies can also be used in other ceremonies. For example, you have a earring called lalbutir. It is a women earring, but it also is used to pay dowry, or in Indonesian harta kawin. So the earring, what I just told you about, is used to pay for a woman when a man want to marry her. Other thing that is also used a lot when making friendships between 2 villages is a elephant stool. These are brought to the Tanimbar Islands in the 16th century by the Portuguese. Music and dance is also central in the Tanimbar culture. People like to sing a lot together, and there are a lot of traditional dancing. There's a lot of traditional dancing. So when you go to visit a village, the villagers can welcome you there with some songs and traditional dance, and it's just a really nice experience. I want to show you. I will show you some pictures of that later in the presentation. Next. So the Tanimbar people are known as very skilled weavers and wood carvers. You can see some examples on the picture. Wood carving is used a lot in Tanimbar. Statues are made from wood, and woven is also a common thing in the Tanimbar archipelago. On the Tanimbar Island, you have the Tumbur village. It's about 22 minutes from the capital city called Somlaki. And in the Tumbur village, you have a shop where you can buy all the art, all the woodcrafting that is made over there, and also some kain tenun objects. So it's really nice to go and visit that place to see the art of the people, and to buy some for bringing it back home. You also have a typical flower that grows on the Tanimbar Island. It's called lelemuku, or in Indonesian bunga anggrek. So it grows all over Tanimbar, on every island in the archipelago. So that is a beautiful flower to see, and it grows really everywhere. So it's very beautiful. Next, please. So places to visit. In the Tanimbar Islands, you have a lot of beaches, islands you can visit. For example, you have the Asutubun Beach, or Pulau Matkus. You can go to there by boat from some beautiful islands in the Tanimbar archipelago you can visit. For example, you have the Matakus Island, the Asutubun Island. You can go from there by a speedboat. You can do some diving activities over there. Go and see the beautiful flora and fauna over there. You also have really beautiful beaches in the Tanimbar archipelago. For example, you have the Wiluan Beach. You can also see it on the background. It's near the Olilit village, and it's only a 4 kilometers from the Olilit village to the Wiluan Beach. You can go there by car and chill on the beach. So it's really nice to have picnic over there and sing with villagers. It's also very common over there. You also have a couple of traditional villages which you can visit. For example, the Sangliador village. They have a kind of monument over there. It's called Praubatu, or in the Tanimbar language, Natar, sorry. It's basically a stone boat which represents the boats of the ancestors who came from other islands to the Tanimbar Islands. So when you want to visit the Sangliat village, you can go to the boat and actually sit on it while the community is performing a traditional dance for you and singing. So that's also really great experience. Besides that, you also have some Japanese war bunkers, because in 1942, Tanimbar was invaded by the Japanese army, who built some war bunkers over there where they could hide from the Dutch army. And even until today, the remainings are still there on the Tanimbar Islands, though. So you can also visit that place with a guide. So it's some nice history. Next, please. Facilities. So on the Tanimbar Islands, you don't have very much luxury, but there is no lack of hotels and places to eat and drink. You have a couple of hotels in the capital city, Somlaki. You have the Hotel Inkla, Harapan Indah, Beringindua. That are really nice hotels where you can stay, also eat. You have a bar, really nice view on the sea. And you also have a lot of warungs in the city where you can eat, and a couple of restaurants. Not very much, but there's absolutely no lack of it. So you won't be hungry while staying in the Tanimbar Islands. Next, please. So on the left picture above, you can see a map of Tanimbar. The biggest island is called Yamdena. On the right, you can see a picture of the Asutuban Island with the beach Pantai Sembunyi, which means hidden beach. It's also beautiful to visit, and it is about 30 minutes from Somlaki when going by a speedboat. On the picture left, the left picture below, you can see the Weluan beach, where I just told you about. And on the right picture below, you can see the Sangliat village, where some villagers are performing a dance to welcome some visitors. After they are welcomed, you can go up the stairs, and then you will arrive to the square where the stone boat was built. So it's also a very nice experience. Next, please. So these are some old pictures from the Tanimbar Islands, from our ancestors. These are made by a researcher called Pater Drabbe. He researched the Tanimbar language and the culture, and also made really nice pictures. And luckily, we can still see how it was to live in Tanimbar 100 years ago. So it's really beautiful that the pictures still remain until this day. Next, please. So these are some self-made pictures. On the right, you can see a picture that I took when I was welcomed by the Sangliat community. In the middle, it is a picture with the Sangliat community who welcomed me, taken by my family. And on the left, you see a beach in the Bowonda village. So that are my self-made pictures I would like to show. Next, please. So this was my short presentation about Tanimbar. I hope you all got a idea of what Tanimbar is, and you will visit it someday. It's really beautiful, and it is worth it to visit Tanimbar and see all the beautiful flora, fauna, the beautiful culture, and enjoy with the people over there. Thank you very much.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
Thank you.
Berapa puluh tahun lalu beta masih kecil, beta ingat tempo itu mama gendong beta, sambil mama bakar sagu, mama menyanyi buju-buju, lah sampai besar begini beta sen lupa mama.
Sia mama, beta rindu mau pulang. Mama Sulia kurus lawange,
beta balong balas mama, mama pun capek sio doloe, sio tete manise, jaga beta pun mama.
Sambil mama bakar sagu, mama menyanyi buju-buju, lah sampai besar begini beta seng lupa mama. Capek jodoh lawe, sio tete marise, jaga betamu mamae, sio tete marise, jaga betamu mamae.
Wow, very interesting presentations from Noe about Tanimbar Island. We are still staying in Tanimbar Islands, and now we are going to listen to the presentations from the director of the hospital in Tanimbar Island, Dr. Juliana. But before, I would like to give the times to Mbak Ine from the Association of Hibiscus, who has a project now with the Tanimbar Islands. Mbak Ine, please, time is yours, and you can let Dr. Juliana after to present. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Maika. My name is Ina Wiringka. Ina Wuruntu. I'm the founder of Hibiscus Foundation. Hibiscus Foundation will assist the revitalization of Fatima Hospital in Tanimbar, but we can only help Fatima Hospital if you help us. So Dr. Juliana will tell about the situation of Fatima Hospital to you. I will give the floor to Dr. Juliana.
Halo, Mbak Ine. Okay. Thank you very much. I'm Dr. Juliana. I'm so glad about this time. I never make presentation in international level. This day is my first presentation in international, and so picture one, Mbak Ine, please. Picture one. Yes. This picture one is Fatima Hospital location from above on the Makaria Jansen Street, Sister Makaria Jansen Street, and location until to the beach. The beach name is Makenelaran Beach in Yamdena language. Makene mention about the old man and Laran is beach. Okay. Next. Okay. History of Fatima Hospital. Fatima Hospital was the first hospital provide medical in the Tanimbar Archipelago and Maluku Barat Daya. The hospital was founded in 1948 and invite of Sister Makaria Jansen. She is missionary of the Dutch. Order of the Sacred Heart, Pastor Gaspars MSC, and representative of the Sacred Heart in Amboina had honor to lay the first stone with the hospital was built. On October 13, in 1952, the Fatima Hospital building officially opened by the Deputy Bishop of the Diocese of Amboina. His name is Pastor Engelbertus Dumatubun MSC, and the hospital came under the management of the government. On December 1962, the management of the hospital was transferred back to the missionary in Amboina. On March 1982, the management of the hospital was transferred to the organization in Foundation of St. Lucas address and Patimura Street on Ambon, in Ambon. Okay, next. Many doctors who work at Fatima Hospital are 15, but 4 of them are come from another country. For each other, for example, Dr. Hayes from Germany, Dr. Fosok from Iraq, Dr. Magreti from Italy, and Dr. Quick from China. Next. Director of Fatima Hospital, director is Sister Makaria Jansen from Belanda, Dutch, Netherlands. Sister Williana Cox from Belanda. She is in Biara Tilburg. And she is 94 years old. And Sister Emerenciana from Indonesia, Sister Godelif Elker, Mrs. Foni Ratuanik, Sister Sarah Heatubun, Sister Godelif Elker from Indonesian once again, me, Dr. Juliana from Indonesian, Nyonya Foni Ratuanik once again, Dr. Lucia Fernditi, and me once again until now, director from hospital, Fatima Hospital. Our vision and mission in Fatima Hospital to become second medical center next to the regional hospital. And mission, first, restart good quality medical care in the hospital and correct management of the hospital and the employee affairs, and providing medical care type B with love and the name of the Christ. Next, this is a profile of the Fatima Hospital. Total capacity of the hospital is 60 beds, VIP 1, first class 4 bed, second class 8 beds, third class 33 beds, maternity care class 2, class second 4 beds, and maternity care class 3, 6 beds, and isolation room 4 beds. Next. This slide is same as in hospital facility and room in hospital of Fatima Hospital are pharmacy room, laboratory room, medicine storage, emergency room, laboratorium, men's room, women's room, children's room, registration room. Next. Every class in Fatima Hospital and radiology room, a kitchen, a VIP, and surgery room. Next. Situation Fatima Hospital from 1950 until 1970. This picture is Sister Makaria Jansen and Dr. Gunawan, Felix Gunawan. They together serve Fatima Hospital with Tanimbar Islands and the people of Tanimbar. So very, very good. And we never forget about their serve with condolence of the heart. We say her Nene Makaria. Nene Makaria. Nene is grandma. And Sister Williana Cox, who succeeded Sister Makaria Jansen. Next. Situation of Fatima Hospital. This is an overview of the building, Fatima. Next. Maternity care. Every woman giving birth was given a good place to give birth and clothes offered by the Fatima Hospital. Also important was creating awareness among the women for giving birth in a safe way. Next. Okay. Medical care for sick and malnutrition children, full of the dedication of the compassion to care for the treat infants and children who are sick and suffering from the malnutrition. Until now, discuss be in Tanimbar, and we must prepare to prevention it. Next, orphans. Caring for and raising orphans during their childhood, and sometimes even until become adults. Next, care for 6 adults. The complete men's and women's room were full. There were no possibility for expansion because the property and there were many 6 people. Next, he is my father. He is my father too. This picture. Although knowledge and equipment were limited, medical care was provided in good way. It was challenges because one person and to do many things: dental care, blood transfusion, laboratorium, work, radiology, and even assisting in surgery. Next, the atmosphere in the treatment room. This is surgery room. The surgery was performed by Dr. Umum, not ahli bedah, and the anesthesia staff was a nurse. The process went smoothly and the patient survived. Next, care for the sick elderly people. Happiness after recovery from illness. A number of the elder women dances at traditional manner. To have happiness in your heart in the best medicine.
Excuse me, Dr. Juliana, can you make it faster? Because actually we have still other things, yeah? Yes. Just make it faster and explain the slide faster. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. The atmosphere, the entrance and the registration desk. The registration of patient are the registration desk in the early morning. Next, keep serving senior, junior personnel in 1919. Next, always keep serving with a smile and with love. Nurse and nurses to be ready to follow classes in Manado. Next.
Dr. Juliana, I will propose now to play your video clips to explain the situation today, okay?
Okay. Halo, saya Dr. Juliana Katarina Ratuanak, asli Tanimbar. Saya lahir besar di Tanimbar dan lahir di Rumah Sakit Fatima. Dulu orang tua saya adalah perawat di sini setelah kembali dari Makassar. Dan mereka sampai menghabiskan akhir hidupnya di sini ayah saya dan ibu saya pensiun di sini. Pegawai pemerintah yang diperbantukan di Rumah Sakit Fatima. Sejak tahun 60-an sampai tahun 90-an setelah pensiun ibu saya sebagai perawat di rumah sakit ini.
Ayah saya perawat dan meninggal di rumah sakit ini. Saya adalah direktur rumah sakit ini, dipercayakan sejak tahun 2017. Itu adalah jabatan yang kedua kalinya di rumah sakit ini. Rumah sakit ini pernah memiliki masa keemasan yang luar biasa. Satu-satunya rumah sakit yang ada di Kepulauan Tanimbar. Didirikan di akhir tahun 40-an oleh para misionaris Belanda. Dan ribuan, bahkan puluhan ribuan orang tertolong lahir di sini. Ada anak-anak yatim dan piatu banyak dirawat di sini. Dan hari ini kondisinya seperti ini. Di sana dulu bekas ruang operasi, tampak dari sebelah timur seperti ini, lubang. Nah, kalau yang ini adalah ruangan untuk pelayanan KIA dan KB, kesehatan ibu anak dan KB. Saya hanya dari luar. Ini ruangannya. Atasnya masih ya rata-rata rusak berat karena jendela-jendelanya pun sudah bocor semuanya. Gitu. Lalu ini dulu adalah ruang steril basah, steril rebus. Biasanya yang menangani ini perawat yang dilatih, semua perawat rata-rata dilatih. Saya ingat mama selalu merebus alat di sini, dan kalau mesinnya mulai bunyi ting dengan lengkingan yang tinggi, itu artinya sudah waktunya untuk bisa mengganti sterilan yang baru. Dan kemudian diubah menjadi kamar mesin genset bila lampu PLN padam biasanya. Lalu kalau yang ini menara air. Dan yang ini adalah laboratorium, rusaknya lebih parah. Kalau ini rusak parah. Ini biasanya kalau selesai habis periksa, ini lemari-lemarinya, ini atapnya, ini bekas lemari, tempat mencucinya, ini lemari-lemarinya. Ayah dilatih untuk itu. Dia pernah menjelaskan kepada saya, ini loh telur cacing, dan ini bekas-bekas yang memang tabung-tabung yang memang kami harus perbaiki kembali semuanya. Ini adalah kamar operasi. Dulu kamar yang paling steril mungkin adalah ini ruang recovery di sini. Dan waktu itu kamar yang paling steril adalah kamar operasi. Itu menurut orang kesehatan karena selalu disteril ruangannya. Dan waktu saya masih bayi, karena tidak ada pengasuh, mama meletakkan saya di sini di dalam sebuah gerobak roda milik kiriman dari negeri Belanda. Saya di sini dan setiap 2 jam sekali mama datang untuk memberikan ASI, air susu ibu, kepada saya, menyusui saya. Kondisinya rusak berat. Saya dulu waktu pulang sebagai dokter muda melakukan operasi pertama kali di sini. Itu operasi sesar. Saya mengoperasi seorang ibu dari desa Meano, anak ke-8, dan ketubannya pecah dini, ketuban pecah sebelum waktu. Dan bayi lahir bungsu, anak laki-laki satu-satunya, dilahirkan dalam kondisi sehat. Yang ini adalah ruang kantor. Ini ruang kantor juga rusak berat. Seluruh proses administrasi, buku-buku bekas dari zaman itu kami harus membersihkannya kembali. Dan saya harus bersama dengan teman-teman, karena waktu datang ke sini kondisinya memang sudah dirusak, sengaja dirusak. Saya nggak tahu kenapa demikian. Dan inilah yang harus kami perbaiki sampai tuntas. Medical record masih ada di sana, dan itu adalah buku-buku peninggalan. Buku-buku lama. Saya dengan teman-teman akan membereskan ini.
Okay, thank you very much for the nice presentation, Dr. Juliana. Actually, we would like to invite you to all of you who are, if you want to help the hospital in the Tanimbar Islands, this is also the good things to know. In the remote area in Indonesia, somewhere in Maluku, we have a hospital, and at the moment we really need the place like this, and then we really need to support the hospital projects in Tanimbar Island. So if you really want to help, you can contact the Hibiscus Associations. Now we are going to go to the next presentation. At last but not least, we have a presentation from Gerard Wirenga. He's the owner of Bersama Travel, a tour operator specialized in Indonesia, based in Netherlands. Gerard, he knows Indonesia very well, and I give the floor to Gerard. Please, Gerard.
Thank you, Eka. Good afternoon to everybody from the Netherlands. I'll give you a short presentation about Bersama Travel and what Bersama Travel is doing next. Bersama Travel is founded in 1995, and it was founded with the goal to help returnees in the Netherlands to go back to Indonesia and to rediscover their history. Especially in those days, most of the travel agencies were offering traditional trips. So you could go from Sumatra, Java to Bali, but a trip to rediscover your history and going from Java to Sulawesi to Flores and then back to Bali was difficult to arrange. We have found some partners in Indonesia who could help us to arrange these trips and to help the people to rediscover their history. Nowadays, Bersama Travel is a specialist in individual holidays in Southeast Asia and Europe, and we are a specialist in custom-made holiday trips. And our custom-made holiday trips are really custom-made, so we're not building up holidays with standardized components, but we just try to fill the requests of the clients and to create a trip they have desire. Next. And we do it with a vision, and our vision is that we want to give our travelers the opportunity to discover, to taste, to feel, and to experience the country they're traveling through. There where possible, we try to make it possible for our clients to stay with local people in Indonesia, so they really can see how local life is. For instance, we have a house in Bukit Tinggi, or near Bukit Tinggi, where people can stay in a traditional Minangkabau house. And they can, together with the owner of the house, they can shop in the area and they can learn how to make traditional rendang. Next. Our travel destinations are for Asia. Our target markets are Southeast Asia, mainly Indonesia, Thailand, Vietnam, and Cambodia. And we also are delivering travels to South Korea. Next. Together with our partners in Indonesia, we have got a request to organize trips in Europe for Indonesians. So in this moment, we are helping the clients from our Indonesian partners to make holidays to Europe, and then also based on the vision that Bersama Travel has of making a trip, trying to learn, trying to understand a little bit about the area where you're traveling through, and not only traveling through, making pictures and going fast to the next destination. Next. On the moment, we are suffering the COVID-19 pandemic, and the Indonesian government, the Indonesian travel authorities have announced that they are working on a plan to opening the borders for tourists. On the moment, it's difficult for tourists, or better say impossible for tourists in Indonesia. But the plan is that they are trying to start with a travel bubble, and they try to open for specific groups the islands Bali and Bintan, to see how they can manage a safe tourist movement without spreading the virus too fast. On the moment, the Netherlands is not part of that pilot, but the Indonesian travel organizations has announced that as soon as the first pilot has started, they will look with the Netherlands what the possibilities are for Dutch travelers. Next. As soon as the travel ban is lightened and it's possible again to travel again, the Bersama travel team is ready to start designing holiday trips again and help our customers to make that trip that they are dreaming of and that's what they're desiring of. Thank you very much.
Great, thank you, Gerard. Everybody's now waiting to travel back to Indonesia. So thank you. Now we have already all the presentation, but now we are going to do the photo group together. Please, could you please open your video and we will do the photo group together. We will do page per page. We have about 50 people coming. So I will do the first page first. Please open your video and give your best smile possible. Okay, it's a free for smile, so no need to pay. Just give your free smile. Okay, first the first page, 1, 2, 3, and the second page. Please open your video. Okay, 1, 2, 3, smile. Great. Now we are going to the second part, which is the questions and answer. If you have any question and answer, if you have some question, and please kindly put in the chat room. We already have a questions from Ella and Robbie Patiselan asking Dr. Juliana why the hospital is in the bad conditions. And actually this is the only hospital in Tanimbar. Ibu Dr. Juliana, maybe you can reply why the hospital is ke dalam keadaan yang rusak. Padahal this is satu-satunya rumah sakit di Tanimbar. Maybe you can answer directly.
Yes. Dr. Robbie Patiselano, my senior. Okay. Dr. Robbie, problems and statement in Fatima Hospital, bad management, the price for medical care is revitalization expensive, and the Kartu Indonesia Sehat cannot be used, and the care provided by the hospital is too expensive. Menurut orang di Tanimbar, dan bahkan banyak yang mengutang juga, and there are many buildings which are badly and damaged, and there is a limited availability of the medical professionals. Demikian.
Okay. Actually that's the reason why we have this presentation of this hospital, because the Hibiscus Association would like to ask those who are has will to help this hospital, because this is important for the population, the local population. Of course, there are so many projects in Indonesia that still also we need to have the support, and this is one of the example that the reason why we are doing this webinar is also to introduce you to the new destination, and also to help the as we can for the local populations in all over Indonesia. And this time we will want to help these Tanimbar people for helping the hospital. So if you have any other questions, you can let us know. Otherwise, I would like also to thank you from the bottom of our heart to our 5 Indonesian diasporas, Mbak Murni, Mbak Murni Surbakti, Mbak Rewawon, Mbak Yuyun George, Mbak Sukma, and Mbak Citara. If you are here, if you want to have some words, please feel free. We thank you a lot for all the all the songs, all the entertainment that make this webinar becomes more cheerful and then more attractive. And we also thanks to all the speakers. That's very amazing because all the speakers are not based in one place. We have speakers from Switzerland, from Netherlands, and also from Maluku, and I myself based in Paris. So this is very amazing webinar because we gather everyone from all over part of the world. And I believe that all of you coming from all over part of Indonesia as well. And I think this is a very interesting time for us to exchange. At the moment, we cannot travel yet to Indonesia, but we hope and we look forward to traveling back to Indonesia. If you have any question, please feel free. We still have some few times before we leave this and we ending this webinar.
We still have one song from our friends.
Okay, so we have another song. So maybe in waiting, you can show the song, Mbak Ina.
Okay. First, I will show the presentation, the video clip of Bapak Kadis Par Maluku.
Okay, yes, the video of Banda Island, yeah.
Banda Island.
Yes, madam.
Yes. Banda Islands, yeah, because Maluku has about 65 islands, so I think you need to know at least this Banda Island, one of the most beautiful.
Banda Islands is located right in the center of Maluku Archipelago, Indonesia. Banda played a significant role during the age of exploration, which lasted from 17th century to 19th century. The Portuguese and the Spanish were the pioneers with a clear objective: to find spice island producer, especially nutmeg, which at the time was more valuable than gold. These explorers sailed all the way from Europe to this tiny cluster of remote islands, which consists of Banda Naira, Banda Besar, Hatta, Syahrir, Run, Ai, Gunung Api, Karaka, and Nailaka Island. Banda, with its glorious past, has now transformed into one of the main tourism destinations in the eastern part of Indonesia. It offers complete package of tourism, starting from its rich history, culture, its beautiful nature, to its locals' hospitality that always ready to welcome anyone with open hands. Naira. Most of the locals' activities happen here. You can find harbor, airport, and important historical sites such as the old Church of Naira and Istana Mini, the residential house of the Dutch East Indies Company governor before they moved to Batavia, now Jakarta. Naira, also the exile land of 4 national heroes. The first Vice President of Indonesia, Mr. Muhammad Hatta, was exiled here for about 6 years. He once said Banda held a special meaning for him because this is the place he contemplated about the nation. Another founding father who called Banda the exile land is Sultan Syahrir. Alongside with them are Cipto Mangunkusumo and Iwa Kusuma Sumantri. Thus, Naira is not only hold a significant role in world history, but moreover has a deep meaning for national history. You can also find Fort Belgica here, used to be possessed by Portuguese before the Netherlands took over. We can see the ruins of Fort Nassau from its top. Hatta and Karaka Islands are more than ready to spoil your eyes with their astonishing underwater view. In Banda Besar, there are two old forts called Fort Concordia, located at Wire Village, and Fort Hollandia at Lontor Village. There's also a majestic volcano in Banda with 640 meters above sea level. A magnificent view of Naira can be seen from its top. The beauty of Banda Sea, with blue to Tosca color gradation of its seawater, will always be there to be the apple of your eyes. Banda, a hidden treasure and forgotten paradise of eastern Indonesia.